Welcome back to WCS America Premier League for the final best of 3 of the round of 32. This is Group H. Is Group H the group of hope? Nate, in the final series, in the final day, in the final game, you name it, it's the last bit of the last round of 32. We have our last American, who is the only American who could potentially make it to the round of 16. It is Suppy. DAE Suppy. I've got my Suppy, you've got your Suppy. Bring out your bald eagles, guys. Put them on your shoulders. Sing the national anthem, because this is America's time, isn't it, Nate?
It's time for some American StarCraft 2, Roddy. Could not have said it better myself. And we're going to kick this match off on Overgrowth. I'm super excited to see how this series pans out. I feel like Arthur versus Suppy, even though our first match went in favor of our Korean Protoss player, Suppy has not only had an opportunity to play against him and see what went wrong, but also see how other Zergs in this group defeated him. You know, sometimes people say that Zerg lore, they got a hive mind, all the Zerg's brains are linked. Well, if Suppy's Zerg friends have found a way to overcome Arthur's mass gateway mayhem style, then maybe Suppy's got something planned as well.
Well, I'm definitely hyped for this one, Nate. It would be definitely quite special to see it in the final best of 3 of the season, to see the first American qualify for the round of 16. Suppy has done it before. In 2013, he made it to the round of 8 in season 1. Since then, it's been the round of 32, and he even missed the season of Premier League. But perhaps right now, he's back and he's stronger than ever. Back then, Nate, that wasn't even his final form. Perhaps this is the season where we will see Suppy's final form. The first map is going to be Overgrowth, like early today. Suppy was able to win that map, correct?
Yes.
With the roaches and the zerglings.
That's where he was able to hold off the aggression, man. That's where it all began.
All right, of course, you know, Arthur as well, awesome Protoss player. He definitely brings his own playstyle to the table, and it's very black and white. Either you love it or you hate it. There isn't really an in-between with Arthur's playstyle. We can twist it as many ways as we want, but that's just the way it is. Either way, I'm pumped. Hopefully you guys are pumped as well. Big shout out, of course, to everyone who's been reaching out to us over the Twitter universe with the hashtag WCS. I saw a lot of funny tweets. And last but not least, thanks to everyone in the Team Liquid live report thread. You guys made Nia and Nate just completely lose it in the break. The comments today were really funny. Yeah. So let's just go ahead and jump into the game as our first map is live. It's going to be played on Overgrowth.
Let's do it, Roddy. Let's do it. Let's find out if our American hometown hero, made of apple pie and all things American, can come out of this group. The blue Zerg from Evil Geniuses, it is Suppy.
Sing the national anthem for me, Nate. Yeah.
I'm not qualified to do that. It's not in my contract. In the bottom left position, our Korean Protoss player who loves gateways more than life itself, it is Team Spectre's Arthur.
Spot on.
I couldn't think of any better way to describe the man. He loves his gates.
Of course, all jokes aside, Nate, I think what you just said in the introduction of this series is really important. Suppy definitely had the chance to look at the games that Arthur just played against Jigawa, and there is no reason that he didn't do that. Or even if he wasn't watching those games, there is no reason that he shouldn't have possibly at least heard from those games, went over the build hoarder history. It seems like Arthur is going to open up with a Nexus first over here, is again going to hide his probe on the south side of this mineral line, while Suppy is going for the drone scout. Is he going to go all the way? Nope. Suppy, man. Arthur, tricks for days.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
Playing smart. So there's a Nexus. Hatchery first still for Suppy, but his drone's going to come down and be like, you've gotten the best of me, good sir.
Yes, not bad, old sport.
Old sport.
That's just one time, man. Yeah, for some reason that always sounds fun. Such a good move. Either way. Gate going down, of course, so it's a very economic opening over here for Arthur, you know, all jokes aside. We said this many times, don't be surprised if he suddenly does open with a Stargate once and just, you know, macros like Zest and Rain and Parting combines and just blows us out of the water.
All right, so Suppy,
not afraid?
Triple hatch. He's not afraid
to take a stand. Everybody,
take Suppy's hands.
We walk this road together.
Through the gateways.
And bad weather. Storm.
I don't know if he's researched Storm.
All right, either way, it's a double hedge before pool. So Suppy is saying, all right, you know, I think in game 1 I was a little too afraid. And this, of course, works out great because he did scout the Nexus first. So he can get away with this. And it's going to be perhaps much more of a game where, you know, it's really important that Suppy plays against a player, but it's also important that Suppy still does what he knows is good in this matchup. Because, of course, he knows better than us. He knows better than anyone. He perhaps even knows better than Arthur what works in a macro game in this matchup. So as long as Suppy can just get there, don't go overboard with the defenses. I'm actually getting a little nervous over here. I don't know why. So last game of the round of 32, of course, for everyone who's watching right now, we will also be doing the group drawing straight after this. Me and Nate are completely unaware of the groups. They have been done before, but I promise on everything that I have, because I believe that my account manager is a good man, that the groups have been drawn completely random and there has been no trickery business. So I'm really curious to see what has come out, Nate.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see who goes up against who. And these guys, they would love to have that final spot in the round of 32. And already we're seeing something that isn't a gateway. It's a pretty quick robotics facility.
Yeah, that is a very quick robot. Where did he even get it? Over here on the top side. Okay, that's relatively tricky to scout for Overlords. Maybe this Overlord will eventually scout it, but it's going to be hard because normally your Overlords don't fly in via this open area. So the only way for Suppy to get this is get it from here. That's a very quick robot. It makes me feel that it could be an Immortal Sentry all-in. Could also be crazy Immortal Zealot Madness, but I feel it's a little too late for that. It's damn quick, don't get me wrong. It's actually like it's really quick for a Nexus first. We'll see where he takes this.
Yeah.
So close, Suppy.
No. He was really close to that probe.
But of course, this is less scary right now. It's a very quick Immortal, so I think it is going to be. Maybe it's going to be that Jim build that Jim used to get Jade on.
Yeah, it looks a lot more like that than anything that I would say normally makes sense. So Overlord dies. Doesn't really see much though. He's neither of these Overlords. Could, even if they went in, could see it.
Suppy is extremely close to finding this probe on the left top side of the map. Roach Warren is going down at 6 minutes and 50 seconds for Suppy, who's currently at 45 drones against the 42 of Arthur.
Yeah.
Quick burrow by Suppy, so I do like that. He's trying to adjust what went wrong earlier today. Of course, from this point on, you know, for us it's very easy to see like, oh, it's a robo. Suppy doesn't know. For all that Suppy knows in this current game, there's a pylon here and there's 5 gates around this pylon. So burrow is not going to be the super useful now, but I definitely don't fault him for researching
he's sending another Ling around the top left. Is he gonna find? It's just keep going. Just keep going around.
Oh, layer is quite late though.
He should be able to find that probe.
I'm a little worried.
Suppy, please. He's gonna go straight up to 7 gateways.
This is just going to be a very powerful Immortal Sentry all in.
No, 8 gates.
Arthur is going to march out of his base at like 8 minutes and 25 seconds or something with 3 Immortals. That's parting-ish level. That's very well done. If he actually starts going soon.
This is a crazy amount of Immortals. Suppy sending some Zerglings to the front.
He has to keep them. Every second is going to help out a lot. But he does have the Overlord. He's going to see the sentries, and he will see 1, 2, 3 Immortals. So Suppy knows exactly what is going on. He does have Burrow, but once again, it's not going to be very useful in combat. It's going to be useful, very useful outside of combat, or maybe later if this game somehow goes past a certain point with Tunnel and Claws, it could get very useful. But well, we'll see about that. It's going to be a tough hold for Suppy, Nate. It's all going to come down to the engagement.
He has a couple different positions he can use. That pylon on the left, it did go up, and
that speeds the process up a little quick and a little more, and gives Suppy less time to get ready. It's a little bit unfortunate. Suppy came so close to finding that probe, but in the end he didn't see it. If he loses that Overlord, he's also going to be supply blocked.
He's trying to come up here. A couple force fields will go in. Loses a few Zerglings. Still has a good amount of supply, but as he gets pushed back towards his third, force fields get really good in this position.
Yeah, and there is a time warp available as well. Sick force field there. He will burrow a couple of his units, but of course there is an observer with this army that's consisting of 3 Immortals.
Zerglings get on the Immortal in the back, but there's just too much here. Cleaning everything up. Arthur's still keeping all 3 of his Immortals alive, pushing in, and there's still a good couple of the Roaches alive, but if those 3 Immortals are allowed to keep hammering away,
like you said,
matter.
They did take a lot of real damage. The shields are down. Drones are being pulled as well. This is Suppy's moment. He's going to need some luck. He's going to need Arthur to slightly mess up. Are the Immortals falling?
Oh, not just yet. First, Immortal picked off. Getting towards the second with a Warp Prism comes in. Puts him back as he drops another force field, and the drone's not able to get the last hit on that Immortal.
Well, with only one, okay, I guess Suppy is losing perhaps a few too many units, but if that Immortal falls, Nate, I believe in a thing called the Roach as well. Is the Observer still here? Yes, it is still here. Suppy is losing a lot of units. These Zealots are doing some serious work. Sick Immortal pickups over here. 20 kills on this bad boy. However, Zerk is able to produce a lot of units of 41 workers. Suppy still has an economy to work with. Don't underestimate, it's just Larva is going to be a small problem. We can already see Suppy has a little bit of money in the bank. If only he could spend it all. He's going to get the sentry. Yes.
Even without force fields, this army.
Where did that second Immortal come from?
I think he walked it across the map.
No, it must have been there all along. I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
That's strange. Because I also only saw one Immortal dying, but at a certain point I only saw one Immortal in the mix. Maybe it was hiding below the Mothership 4 or something like that. Okay, with 2 Immortals this is going to be a very different story.
Yeah, I'm really worried for Suppy. He's continuing to put out roaches, but there's just so much Protoss here. This attack hit at a crazy time, Rotterdam.
Yeah, and once again, that pylon on the left side did really help speeding this attack up. If Suppy has 10-15 more seconds, perhaps we're looking at a different game. However, Suppy is still going to try moves forward, getting force fielded again. He's going to try to pick up an Immortal, but good pickup there by Arthur. His pickups have been much, much better than they were earlier today on Overgrowth. He's going to wipe in a few more Zealots. The Queens and drones are being pulled as well, but these Immortals are not dying.
Yeah, picking them up and putting them down. These Immortals, just such low health, but man, they've been so cost effective, moving closer and closer to that natural. No more drones.
56 kills on both Immortals.
That is just crazy.
Oh, one Immortal will finally fall, but the other one with 32 kills is still alive, and Suppy just doesn't really have anything left anymore on this game on Overgrowth. A few more sentries being wiped in. A force field will go down on the ramp as well. Good force fields by Arthur, and it seems like Arthur will take a 1-0 lead in our final series of the round of 32.
Yeah, this army does not look touchable anymore. 20 more Zerglings is all that Suppy can put out. And, I mean, half of them spawning on the left side, the rest will spawn in his main base. He comes down, tries to hit him from all sides, but those Zealots, they don't really care.
No, they don't. This one is all over but the crying. Well, Arthur is transitioning as well. He's getting the Forge.
Yeah.
might hit a +1 timing.
That's the Arthur transition.
This is a timing, Nate. He's going to go for +1 timing.
This is my favorite timing.
Drones being pulled as well. Suppy probably just thinking about this game. Where did it all go wrong? What should I do different in game number 2 and game number 3? And hopefully he will find the answer to those questions. I would love to see this one go at least to game 3.
Yeah, Suppy, bit of a solid fight, but Arthur's build, honestly, just it kind of hard countered what Suppy was trying to do in case it was just a regular 8 gateway push. So smart play by Arthur to allow him to take the first game of our final series of the day, and showing that he is, you know, he's a little bit more flexible than maybe we give him credit for.
Definitely, and you know it's hard to play against Protoss players like this. You can't think, okay, he's going to do that, then he's going to do that. Every attack that Arthur is going to do, it's going to be well executed, and it's going to hit really, really hard. Suppy, you can always say, you know, hindsight and not having fog of war, it's very easy to say what he should have done. So don't want to be that guy, but maybe if the Overlord springs to the right side and sees the robotic facility, we're looking at a different game as well. Maybe if Suppy finds that pylon on the left top side, or that probe, excuse me, he came so close. First with his Zergling, then with his Overlord, and that can really change games, because on any given moment in that phase in the game, Zerg is going to have between 5 and 8 roaches on the production tab. Imagine what 5 or 8 roaches extra can do if they swing in from behind and start working on the sentries. Instead of having to worry about one line of force fields if you're Arthur, you have 2 force fields on 2 sides because you can't lose your sentry. So, you know, a little unfortunate for Suppy, but still 2 maps to go, Nate. It's not over yet.
Yeah, Suppy's certainly in a position where he can try to reel this one back in. It's just so difficult trying to predict what Arthur's going to do. Even if you know, yeah, of course, at some point in the game there will be 8 gateways off 2 bases, but how fast does the robotics facility come after that? How much does it come before? If you delay too much, if you think, hey, he's going to go crazy fast Immortals, or maybe you go into Hydralisks again, and then, well, 8 gate hits 2 minutes before that, and you die because you don't have enough roaches to defend against just a mass Zealot Stalker Sentry force. So it's really scary. The second map for this series is going to be Alterzim Stronghold. And This is one of the first times we've seen this map in a while. This is probably among the least played of all maps so far in the round of 32, Roddy.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that the map is going to be Alterzim. My face was like, am I seeing this right? Is this truly Alterzim? And it is. I'm a little bit in shock, Nate. What do you think? Why does Arthur leave this map open? Because I think a lot of Protoss players are not too happy with this map.
Maybe he's gonna 4-gate. He's gonna pull a Jim. I don't know. Yeah, that's really all I can think. I mean, if it's a large map, maybe it's just because it's harder to hide. It's harder to find a probe that's hidden somewhere. Because Warpgate doesn't necessarily care about distance because it's instant wherever the pylons are. So maybe he's just gonna try to abuse the map. I don't know. That's really tricky. Suppy, I would have to say, based on the results of all these games that have ended quickly, he's probably better in the longer game, at least compared to these situations.
Yeah, I personally think that this is an okay map for Suppy. I was just organizing the lobby a little bit, guys. I think this is a map where things could work out for Suppy. I'm just thinking, you know, if I'm Arthur, and I like playing the way that Arthur does, and I actually kind of do, you know, because I do those strategies quite often. A 7-gate +1 can always work on this map because this is a map where a lot of Zerg players play very greedy. And it's also a map where it's just fantastic, you know, to hide probes around the map. Because let's be honest, there are not many maps larger than Alterzim. Actually, I don't think there is a map larger than Alterzim, at least not played on this stage. So if you want to hide probes around the map, this is probably the map for it. If I'm Suppy, I would definitely go for a hedge first into a speedling opening, trying to see as much of the map as possible, put my overlords in good positions, and also don't delay the Roach Warren too much. Obviously, you don't need to drop a 5-minute Roach Warren, but get it early, and above all, scouting. But like, this is also the type of map where, would you be shocked if R2 drops the Dark Shrine in the back of his base? No, because that's like, you think about gateways, suddenly DT show up or something, you know, so...
If there's one thing that Arthur has shown, it's that whatever he does revolves around 8 gateways and an earlier or later robotics facility. Switching it up at this point would probably, like you could say, oh, you know, of course he'll switch it up. But for Suppy, you still have to worry about those 2 builds because they've worked so well against you already. Preparing for something else is going to be even more difficult to pull off for our American Zerg players. So I'm not really sure what I would even advise in a situation like this because as the Zerg player, you already have 2 strong builds to worry about. Anything else is just, that's just another trick that Arthur could use pretty easily to try to steal away this series.
Suppy as well showing a little bit of frustration. He's like, I don't understand, where did this pylon come from, you know, on Overgrowth? He's like, I scouted there, and I was like, actually, you just barely missed it. He's like, oh man. But you know, it's an exciting series, Nate. I'm truly excited about the outcome. If Arthur makes it, that means that we at least have 4 Protoss players represented in the round of 16, which is of course good for the racial balance. And if Suppy makes it, well, that's awesome. Then we can wave our stars and stripes and drives our Ford F-150s and have barbecue parties and sing the national anthem. And I would almost say bring a bald eagle, but we can't do that.
No. They're endangered, but they are awesome. So
they are. Maybe one day, Nate. One day, if there are plenty of bald eagles, I'll get one too. Bald eagle for everyone. It's like part of getting a green card. Here's a bald eagle. So now you're a real American.
This will ride your shoulder whenever you leave areas of freedom to protect you. So we are counting down into the second, potentially final game of the round of 32 here. Suppy, he's got to put America on his back if he wants to bring this one home for the red, white, and blue.
It's a big country to put on your back, Nate.
Yeah.
We know we have the miracle on ice. We have Rudy. Do we now have the miracle on Alterzim Stronghold? Well, it's probably going to be the next map, but still. Movies are made out of moments like this. Are we going to have our first American make it to the round of 16? Or is Arthur going to be the 4th Protoss player to make it into the round of 16 for WCS America Premier League Season 2? Of course, there is $1,000 on the line. All players that played, they already get $2,000 guaranteed for making it into Premier League. If you make it to the round of 16, you get an extra $1,000, an extra 100 WCS points. And above all, you come hang out with us in Southern California. And hopefully meet a lot of the awesome StarCraft 2 fans as well.
Yeah, that's the best part. Meeting people in StarCraft, getting to know all you wonderful people. And we are loaded in. You guys can see it's time for Alterzim Stronghold. Spawning in the bottom left position. Our blue Zerg player representing the United States of America and evil geniuses. It is Suppy.
Cross positions, Alterzim is what we're looking at.
Could not get a better position than this. His opponent in the top right position, the red Protoss player representing Team Spectre and Korea. It is Arthur.
Arthur dropping the first gateway behind this mineral line. Expecting a Nexus first out of here for Arthur, followed up by the gateway. I think, you know, this was one of the first maps that a lot of Protoss players started doing this on because it's such a large map, and even if they made a 14-15 pool and they made a few slow Zerglings, they still wouldn't enter your main base. So anything else would kind of surprise me. I mean, there are people who cannon rush on this map, but then you're truly part of the Protoss Illuminati with, you know, with the cannon rush.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you cannon rush on this map, they just send the jacket straight to you.
You're accepted. Okay, no tryout matches to join our castle. Just send us the replay that you have successfully cannon rushed in Alterzim, and you are one of us.
Yeah. You know, there was recently talked about if you rally like to your opponent's mineral patch, if they have a drone there, like you can change which patch it goes to for like the regular mining distribution. So use that to find where the guy is, then you can cannon rush him. You rush straight there. Anything's possible, man. It's a scary world out there against Protoss.
Nexus first into gateway it is, of course, for Arthur, while we see Suppy taking this defensive so far, Nate, because a lot of Zerg players also dropped their first hatch over here. That means, yeah, it's a little bit more exposed, but then again, this is such a large map that you'll still be fine the majority of the time. And he also gets slightly better creep spread, and I wouldn't have minded to see Suppy do that at all, but this is very safe, and at least, you know, he doesn't have to worry about anything annoying early on. And he's also getting the speed. Now, a lot of people will probably think like, do we really need to get speed on this map? I really think it's a good choice against Arthur because you just don't know what he's gonna do. You know, he's the craziest Protoss that we have seen so far in the round of 32. You don't know what he's gonna throw at you. What you do know is that you're looking at the largest map in the map pool where hiding probes is a very realistic possibility, and I don't even feel that you're gambling that much on this map if you try to hide probes. So I think Suppy opening up with the speed and just trying to make sure that he won't get surprised by an 8 gate is a valid choice, and I don't mind seeing this. Yes, it is defensive, but tournament life is on the line. You can either go all out and die to something silly, or you can just try to survive.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing that Suppy knows he needs to do, it's get this game going.
Hey, I think that Arthur really expected a double hatch before. Yeah, I think Arthur is under the impression that Suppy is scouted over here because he just checked over here. He's like, no creep, no hatchery on the low ground. Cool. That means that you're not spawning in the left bottom side of this map.
Huh. How about that?
And this is actually, you know, because we know obviously that he's spawning over here, but all that Arthur, okay, he did check here on the high ground. And the creep would have been here, so I guess he can confirm that it's going to be over here. Anyway.
Well, now he's going to be like, okay, he's in the bottom left.
Yeah, and now is he going to hide it over here somewhere? Over here? We'll see. Gonna keep a close eye on the pro. What?
Okay.
No. Well, good news for Suppy is that he has 2 Zerglings that are making their way across the map. And this target is part of the wall, so yeah, awesome news, I would say. We do see that third hatch going up, 5 minutes, 10 seconds. Nothing wrong with that if you decided to open up with speed. And, you know, just because this is a Stargate, now don't think that we can embrace ourselves for the sick macro fast 5
carriers.
Carriers, Tempest. Don't be too sure. Okay, this probe. Because this could still be Phoenixes into a lot of Zealots. This could still be Phoenixes into unlimited amount of Zealots. This is odd, man. This is such a large map. You know, you might think that there are no probes on the map, but now there is a probe. It's absolutely pivotal for Suppy that he sees this probe.
There it goes. Phoenix on the way. 3 gates being added, Roddy.
Okay, the good news is that these are not gate Zealots with +1.
Yeah, there's that.
I think that these Zerglings will find it. This Zergling. You are the chosen one.
Okay.
I believe in a thing called this blue Zergling.
He's got 1 shot to make it.
Strive for greatness. Destined to be great.
And he's gonna miss it.
He's gonna see it eventually, but he's gonna see it late. Spore Crawler is going down, of course, because Suppy did see these Phoenixes. But the most important thing, Nate, is that this little guy finds this pylon, and he also is going to see the weapon.
Oh boy!
Stop derping. And now
he knows now.
Yep.
But he was unfortunately not able to prevent the pylon from going up. Does make things a tad bit tricky. You know, that Spore Crawler is actually
he doesn't-
surprisingly useful in
and
this situation.
Yeah, it is. It really, really is, because it's going to protect this queen. There are 5 Zerglings on the map, but there are 18 Zerglings on the way, and once again, these are not +1 Zealots, so it's all going to come down to Micronade, but I think that Suppy should be able to handle this. Well, okay, 2 more Phoenix coming in, but he's going to need 1 more lift to kill that queen. If he loses 1 queen here, I still think this is an okay hold for Suppy.
Yeah, pulling back. Queen on the right side, just barely still alive, so not too bad. He's not lost any of his queens yet. And I think he'll finally lose 1, but the Zerglings being able to get on top of these Zealots is quite nice for Suppy. And these Overlords are even able to retreat to the cover of that Spore Crawler.
But do you see how important speed is as well? Because I think without speed, there is a good chance he sees those Zealots later. And if it's 8 Zealots instead of 4, you're looking at a different game. Those Zealots kill the Spore. These Phoenixes are still annoying, don't get me wrong, but in the end of the day, you're looking at 48 workers against 46 now. Yeah, that's relatively close, but this is the largest map in the map pool with a pretty wide open turret, and Arthur is on 2 bases.
Yeah, this is a bit tricky. He's got the robotics facility on the way now.
Oh, Phoenix fell to those Spore Crawlers.
Not bad. Good pickup, good pickup. Forge on the way as well. Evolution Chamber, Roach Warren. Let's see where Suppy can bring us.
These are the cardboard animation overlords. Sorry that I'm interrupting you, but it just reminded me so much of all those overlords hugging each other like they do in the cardboard animation. A double Roach Warren. I wonder
Roach Warren.
if
When one Roach Warren wasn't enough.
you know, the layer is late. No, actually he has layer already. Never mind, what am I talking about?
I guess he's going to go Roach.
Ah,
he's going to go Burrow,
he
Roach
might be-
Speed, and Roach Burrow.
Yeah, he might be worried about an 8-gauge follow-up, and then getting both Roach upgrades at the same time isn't the worst thing that I've ever seen. I actually think it's quite smart. 13 drones on the production tab. That Void Ray is an interesting choice for Arthur. Unless he just... That almost gives me a feeling. Arthur wants to go up to 3 bases, Nate.
Oh my goodness.
You think you've seen it all, but you haven't.
Oh my goodness. There's the pro. Oh my god, 3rd Nexus on the way, Rotterdam.
And I think it's the real one as well. But Roaches are actually fantastic against everything. This is a good WCS scout as well for Suppy. He's going to see the robotics facility, but he also... Did he see the Robo Bay? That is actually something I want to see. These Zerglings might be able to cancel. Okay, a lot of Zealots being wiped in. I think Arthur is on top of this.
Yeah, canceling this 3rd would be nice, considering the setup that Arthur is going for. He's got a Colossus on the way as well, so this is just going to be some Colossus Void Rays, building 2 more Stargates.
Yep, he's going up to 3 Stargates. Interesting. Mass Roach would not be bad at all. And I know that sounds stupid, guys, but I promise you, I've seen Mondragon do this in the past. And I will never forget. And it's actually it's a pretty common fact, because neither Phoenixes or Void Rays are really good in a straight up fight against the Roaches, when the Roaches are just idling below those rays and they're like, shoot me, and then Void Rays are like, okay, and they charge up. But if the Roaches are actively running away from the Void Rays, Roaches can be an excellent answer in just kiting everything on the ground and running in and killing this Nexus.
And you know, he doesn't really have many force fields. He's only got 1 sentry.
No, he has like almost no force fields. The force fields are non-existent.
Yeah, that's going to be the tricky part here. So 2 Void Rays being produced at a time, getting another sentry. Those force fields are going to be so important for holding this off.
Yeah,
Burrow is done. Actually,
think
wait.
that's
He didn't get Burrow. He just got the upgrade. Oh, that's okay. That's weird.
I think that, okay, Photon Overcharge is being casted. There are a few force fields. Phoenixes are going to lift up 5 units immediately. He's going to go for the Colossus. It's good micro so far by Arthur. Suppy has so many Roaches on the map though, but a lot of them are actually not here yet. That perhaps wasn't the engagement that he was looking for.
Yeah, not too much. Oh, and Colossus comes up again. Now 2 of them on the map with this Void Rays and Phoenix.
I think, yeah. Do you think he just forgot that he didn't have Burrow yet? Must have, right?
Yeah, it might have.
He might get a Colossus. That's nice.
And get something for it. There's still a good number of Void Rays too.
Yeah, but like I think Suppy is gonna go for Mudas, and I like that he killed that Colossus, because right now if I'm Arthur, I'm still a tiny bit worried about a big Roach Hydra follow-up. You know, it's like Hydras can definitely be scary. Then again, most of these Phoenixes are still alive, and that is actually a small issue. But at least Suppy is doing a good job in keeping the Protoss units on this side of the map, while he's also macroing up, going up to 5 bases. The drone count is a 76, so that's obviously a very healthy number. There's no fleet beacon yet. You know, switching into Mutalisk against a Protoss that has triple Stargate. It could work. I've seen it work.
It's gonna be a bit dicey though, Roddy. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh man, it's such a...
He needs to get a ton of damage done, like before. Like
Yeah.
maybe if he could run in, if he killed all the Phoenix, ran over, and then depowered the Stargates. But even that just seems like a monumental feat to have to accomplish.
If these 5 Phoenixes were not on the map, I was digging this move and I really believed in it. But now, even now, it can still work. You know, maybe corrupt the Mutalisk. Okay, Arthur is going to scout this relatively early. Gonna pick up 2 Mutalisk already before this all starts. Arthur is actually going to no, he's not going to lose a Phoenix. Oh, bomb! He's gonna fire up 3 Phoenixes at a time, and most likely the fleet beacon will be wiped in immediately as well. And he's even marching across the map with a terrifying army. And Suppy just makes so many drones. I actually think Suppy might just be dead, Nate. He's going up to 6-7 bases, but Arthur is not gonna give him that time. He's like, no. We ain't gonna base trade. There is nothing to base trade over here. I still have Colossus. He needs so many roaches now. He needs roaches and Hydra. He can't survive on the ground. I'm afraid that this is it for Suppy.
This is going to be an impossible hold, it seems. Lots of queens popping out. The mutas are doing the harass of the natural, but the zealots are going to come in here, help with these spore crawlers in the spines. This many Void Rays and this many Colossi, like, just Zergling's gonna have a really rough time. He's trying to hit this third base. The Phoenix have come back. He's gotten Zerglings in this third base mineral line. The third base of Suppy's gone, but he still has that 4th and 5th hatchery up and running. So, are just Zerglings gonna be able to do it? He needs to get a surround on the Colossus with his Lings if he wants that to work.
Yeah, he needs to kill this army on the ground, but all these, let's not forget about the Void Rays. Now the Void Rays are actually an issue, and all of these Phoenixes are an issue as well. I mean, Suppy is doing definitely some economic damage. There are only 46 probes remaining. I just think he's slightly overdroned, and that roach attack just didn't go as well as it should have gone. You know, 25 roaches. If you make 25 roaches, you're relying on dealing some damage with them, and he wasn't able to do it. The attack was a little unorganized. Roaches streamed in one by one. Force fields went down. Great hold by Arthur, and now you're looking at this Void Ray Colossus army marching across the map. And you know, what do you do? What do you build to kill it?
I don't know if there's anything he can do at this point. He's done. GG is called, and Arthur will be our last player to move on to the round of 16 for WCS America after a hard-fought series by Suppy, but unfortunately, he will be eliminated from the round of 32.
Yeah, good effort by Suppy. You could really see that he was trying his best. He was trying to adapt to whatever his opponent could throw at him. Unfortunately, in game 1, Overgrowth getting a little bit unfortunate with not seeing that pylon, and later on and earlier today when he didn't get Burrow, it was when he really needed Burrow, and in the later series when he did get Burrow, it didn't really make the difference because he was playing as the Robo-style. I think overall it was just, you know, it was not really his day. He got very unfortunate with scouting things. Scouting is obviously skill, and it's a crucial part of this game, but every now and then, you know, it's an inch between seeing something or not seeing something, which can completely change the outcome of the game. Either way, good effort by Suppy, and of course congratulations to Arthur for being the 4th Protoss player and our 13th Korean to complete our WCS America round of 16, which will be played here in Southern California. Nate, that means that it's almost time to see who is going to play against who for the big bucks.
That's right. Almost time to get our round of 16 drawing prepared as well. Super excited to see who's going to play who as we move on to our live event. We get these players out here competing, of course, all on American server, no lag, everybody all in the same place. It's going to be really exciting, Kev.
Yeah, it is going to be really exciting. I can't wait to see how the groups look like. If you guys want to see how our groups look like as well, then stay tuned. These are, of course, the results of today. As Jigawa, our Chinese Zerg player representing Invictus Gaming, was able to come through of the upper bracket, and via the lower bracket, we saw Arthur eventually make it and taking out Suppy in the final series of the day, and of course Suppy playing an excellent ZVZ series against Sen before that. Either way, good effort by all of our players. Of course, it was a pretty tough group as well. Suppy and Sen are both players that you can see them make to the round of 16 without a shadow of a doubt. Like, they are good enough for that, and the fact that neither of them didn't make it really speaks to Jigua and Arthur because they made it out of this difficult group. So for now, guys, we're going to head over to a very small commercial break, and after that we'll be back with the live group drawing. We are completely unaware of the groups, so Nate, I can't wait to see how it turns out. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with the WCS America round of 16 groups.